Blue Bombers head coach Mike O'Shea believes that both Canadians, Brady Oliveira and Johnny Augustine, can be the starter while helping to replace Andrew Harris. Will the young backs be effective for the blue and gold?
I really think they can be, because the one stable part of the Blue Bombers lineup here is the offensive line. Now, there's been some changes. Obviously, Drew Desjardins went down and signed with an NFL team, but you look at the tackle situation. They have Stanley Bryant, who is far and away the best left tackle in the league by a long shot. I had one personnel man tell me the other day that it's Stanley Bryant up here, way above everybody else. He's an elite guy. And then really the rest of the other 8 teams, you could probably interchange their left tackle spot. Now, I'm sure there'd be some arguments there too, but I think it was a valid point. You have Yoshi Harjic on the other side. He's been locking down that right side. And then you have Michael Couture back in the middle. So a lot of continuity in my mind on the offensive line up front should help Brady Oliveira and Johnny Augustine be productive. Will they be as good as Andrew Harris? No, that's definitely not fair, especially out the gate to expect that. But they've shown flashes, and both have starts under their belt in the CFL where they can be effective and average over 5 yards a carry and catch the ball out of the backfield and pass protect, do those types of things that you need to do to be a starter in this league. So I think it'll be a very intriguing experiment to see how these guys perform over an entire season versus what Harris was able to do there, and compare some of the numbers, especially the yards per carry.
You touched on it. Running back production comes from that offensive line, and Winnipeg's got that squared away. Now, I don't know if individually either of them can reach the same heights as Andrew Harris. Andrew Harris is a very, very special player. But I think what you've got in Oliveira and Augustine is 2 backs who can complement each other, who you can run in tandem. Now, O'Shea says they can both start. I think what he really means is they can both be on the field and they're both going to get a lot of carries. Oliveira, we've seen it. He can grind it out. He can get those tough yards like Harris did. I think Augustine, we've seen it late in games. He can hit those chunk plays, the big long runs. He's fast. He's quick. Both of these guys can contribute to your offense in different ways. And I'll even add in guys like Kyle Borsa, who's down the depth chart, as someone who can come in a little bit. And if you get him on a roster, he can help you in the passing game as well. So I think they don't have an Andrew Harris on the roster anymore. Get that out of your mind. But perhaps they have, I don't know, what is it, like a transformer where they all come together and they create one Andrew Harris? They have 3 parts that can create an Andrew Harris, and that's just as good.
And I forgot Patty Neufeld, who I believe held down the right guard spot there. He's back yet again, has been a solid veteran for them and has stayed healthy, more importantly, of late. Now, they'll obviously have to replace Desjardins up front at that left guard spot, and it looks like Jeff Gray could be the favorite to step in there, a guy behind the scenes that's ultra athletic. When he was coming out from the University of Manitoba, JC, you'll remember this, he could ride a unicycle at his unbelievable height and weight. Like, what is he, 6'4", 6'5", 300 and plus pounds? The dude is a big guy. He could ride a freaking unicycle, for goodness sake. So they've got an athletic dude that could potentially step in there at left guard. They've got some other intriguing depth there. So I think the offensive line is that factor where the Bombers will still be able to run the ball, but it won't be, as you said, with a bell cow back like Harris, who's been able to keep himself healthy well into his 30s. And I like that you mentioned Borsa here, because Borsa is a fast dude. Like, we're talking 4.4 type speed. And he had a little bit of a taste in Bombers camp last year. They stayed in touch with him when he went back to the University of Regina for his last season. And I think that if he picks the game up and it starts to slow down for him, he could be one of those home run hitters. Augustine is a physical specimen. You look at that guy, he should be competing for one of those trophies. I forget what they're called, but like Mr. World or Mr. Everything or what
Mr. Universe.
There you go, Mr. Universe. And then you got Oliveira, who loves dogs and can kind of bring that element to the community. Maybe that entices some people to go out and watch him with the human interest angle. So I really like what the Bombers have done here in terms of fortifying the offensive line and then seeing how it's going to work out with these younger backs. Again, they're not going to be Harris. there are few, if any, people that might even ever come along again that will put up the type of numbers that he can in the running game and the passing game. But this experiment, let's say, will be very intriguing to watch.